Hey y'all, this is Dr. Boney. I will be your instructor for winter MMSC491, excuse me, or 691. I just want to go over the course for you so you have an idea kind of how this works. So first things first, you want to start at syllabus. And of course, I'm not going to go over every detail of this, but basically here you have the syllabus for the course, and then here is a course procedural document you're going to sign and return. So let's just look at the syllabus. We don't need to go over every detail of this now. You can read all this yourself. The part we want to really get to, obviously, is the grading. You can see here there's discussions, assignments, a case study discussion, and then 3 exams. And here are all of your grading schemes. The most important thing is this. Since this is a winter session course, there's a lot to do here, and you need to know exactly when things are due. So this is what I would like print out or put in your Google Calendar or whatever your agenda book is so you know what's going on. So every week you basically have a 2 discussions and 2 quizzes because you have basically 2 chapters a week on average. And it kind of tells you when everything is due. And the due dates, of course, are 11:59 p.m. on the due date. So that's great. The exams themselves, these are the exams, so you can sign up for these. You probably have received an email from the testing center about either taking the exams at the UD Testing Center or ProctorU. I do not handle the scheduling of exams, the university does, so if you have an issue with sometime when you registered for taking an exam at a certain time, they're the ones that can fix that. Obviously keep me informed if there's any issues. And so you can read the rest of the policies, and that's all great. So from that, you also have a course procedural guide right here. So you're going to go ahead and read this and sign it. And basically, it's a document that says how the course is organized, what the expectation is, the fact that you're not going to cheat. For example, using something like ChatGTP for doing discussions or any sort of AI creating software is in fact cheating. And I use AI software tracking, so just write them yourself. That's why you're here, okay? And then you can go ahead and sign that, and that's great. So how the course itself is organized, notice now that we're just kind of going down the list. So after you've done this, you're going to go ahead and register for Edpuzzle. This is free, and once you click that button, it's going to send you here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the upper right-hand corner and hit sign up. And you're going to go to here and hit, don't go up here, hit sign up with Edpuzzle down here in blue, and you're going to put your first name and your last name and all that stuff because it's going to say, hey, look, is this the course that you're signing up for? And the answer is yes. So once you go ahead and register for that, you don't ever have to go to Edpuzzle again, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So now that you have signed up for Edpuzzle, now we can get into some of the chapter stuff. So this course is designed for most people who are going to be like PAs or in medical school or graduate school. That's most of you who are taking this course, the vast majority. So it's designed to be very heavy textbook based on purpose. We found that a lot of students who went up to PA school or med school had a couple of them had a bit of a trouble kind of adjusting to the more traditional ways that those introductory courses were. And what that means is in a lot of the grad school intro courses, you may have 7 or 8 chapters you have to read, and at the end of 2 weeks there's a test on it, and there's no study guide, there's no YouTube videos, there's no nothing. Go read the book and learn the stuff. And that's one of the ways that they can weed out students who might not be prepared in some medical schools and PA schools. So we added a course here that on purpose requires you to spend a lot of time on the textbook. Also because most of you are seniors and a lot of you are going to be moving on to a course like that. So how does this work? My suggestion is before you even pick up chapter 1, go through and look at all of these things. Now, what are they? Let's just go through one of them and take a look. First thing is just an overall what the chapter is about. You're going to hit next. And then you're going to get onto this thing that's going to then go into each section. Okay, here we begin. 1.1, structure and function of nucleic acids. And from there, you're going to go this thing. You're like, what is this? Well, this is called an Edpuzzle. And because you had logged in and registered with Edpuzzle, it's connected to your Canvas course. And it's going to know that you are in the course. Now, you'll notice that when I click on this, it's not working. And the reason why it's not working, and if this happens to you, you'll know why. My name is not up here. It's because I didn't register. Obviously, I'm the teacher of it, so on purpose, if you forget to register for Edpuzzle and you get right to this video and you hit get started, nothing happens, you're like, oh, I forgot to register for Edpuzzle. So I'm going to go pause the video and go register for Edpuzzle and come back. Now I went ahead and registered for Edpuzzle, and you're probably going to notice something a little different, the fact that now my name is up there and there's logout. So now I can go ahead and open this and I can review this very short video. Now this is more than just a video. This is not just a YouTube video. You'll notice there's teardrops that are under a lot of these, and these are questions that I embedded in the middle of the video that you answer literally as you are going through the video. So if I were to just kind of click this right here, I'm going to pause it for a second, you're going to see what's going to happen. I know you can't hear it, but that's okay. Once we get to the teardrop, let's watch what happens. So once it gets to the teardrop as the guy is talking, boom, in the middle of it there's a comment, right? And so that could be a comment, or it could also be a question. And so that's what a lot of these are. And you can also, of course, I highly suggest that you full screen it, which would make a lot of sense. But that's how I do the little mini videos. So if we look at a lot of these are little mini Edpuzzle videos that I suggest you watch before you read the book. The book is a very technical book, and the idea here is that we need to make sure that you have the background before you tackle any of these chapters. So all of these Edpuzzles that I put in here are designed to give you a background before you go ahead and hit chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3. Some of these are made from me, some of these are made from other people, but for the most part I've made all the Edpuzzles myself and created all the questions myself. So this is kind of how it's going to work all the way down the line as you go through all the different chapters and whatnots. Now some of these might not have a lot, or it might not have any Edpuzzles for a section, and so that's okay if they do. That means that section was specific enough, it probably didn't need a video, or it didn't have an idea that was large enough for you to be able to require, in other words, that there was some major scientific principle that you needed to know first for a section. So that's how that's going to work, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course here would be the exam study guide. So if you want to know what's on the exam, here it is. It's not a trick. The exam, basically 50 to 60 questions, blah, blah, blah. Anything in red text below indicates the topics represent the most amount of points. So you'll see here that this DNA damage types and repair systems, what I mean by the most amount of points, it means that there's probably going to be 5 or 6 questions on that topic alone, where other sections might have 1 or 2 questions. That's pretty much what that means. So if you want to know like what the exam is on, it's this. And so I literally had the exam on one side and I had this list, and I was writing the list as I went down to the topics of every single question I saw on the test. So these are the major topics that you're going to want to know everything you can about in terms of these very specific topics, and that's going to kind of help. So that's kind of how everything is organized for each unit. The other thing you have at the end, of course, you'll be able to see the rest of this the second week. The other thing is this. If you are a non-honor student, which most of you are non-honor students, and in order to be an honor student, I would send you an email and say, hey, you're identified in the UD system as an honor student. But if you are a non-honor student, you also have to finish a case study by the end of the year. And if you're an honor student, you do this case study. Obviously, the honors case study is way longer than the non-honors case study. And that's how we differentiate honors credit in this course. So the last thing is, what do I do? Do I sit back and go on vacation? No, I don't. My job is to Zoom or answer your questions. And in most of my sections I Zoom fairly often with students. So if you have a question, if you're going through and you're like, hey, I don't understand DNA methylation, shoot me an email. That's what I can help to either Zoom with or send you an answer back. But what I don't want is like the night before the exam, hey, I don't understand chapter 9. Like that's not going to fly. So that's the way the course is organized. So if you need any, oh, by the way, quizzes also. The quizzes, you can have resources open. It's fine to have your book open. You only get one shot at it. And I think that was pretty much it. So if you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, welcome to the class.